She sits across from you, smiling politely, sipping her drink, engaging in the same kind of conversation. She's had 1,000 times before with 1,000 men who thought they were different, but deep. Down she's bored, not because you're in it good looking, not because you're no interesting, not even because you're redoing anything wrong, but because you're redoing what every other man does, trying to impress her, trying to be charming, trying to be the guy she should want, but there's the uncomfortable truth women didn't. Remember the guy who says what she expects they remember, the one who doesn't try to be remembered at all, but leaves a mark anyway? Now imagine this, he's lying in bed hours after the conversation ended. The city has gone quiet, her friends have stopped. Texting her phone is finally down, but her mind's still spinning with you, not because I told a wild story, not because you made her laugh, but because you asked her a single question that no one in her entire life ever bothered to ask, and that one question, it didn't flatter her, it didn't challenge her, it unlocked her, it made her pause. It made her curious, it made her feel like you saw something in her that even she had buried under layers of routine small talk and carefully rehearsed charm. She's being complimented, she's been admired, but what has rarely been is understood this. The modern woman lives in a world that's obsessed with her appearance, but blind to her essence. But you asked her something that mattered her, go quiet for just a moment. Youth modern woman interrupted the script, you shattered the pattern, and now long after you're gone, she's wondering, why did he ask me that? What did he mean by it? What is it about him that feels different? That when a question doesn't just plant a seed of attraction, it creates a psychological loop, a mystery who she's compelled to solve, and once her mind starts circling that question, she can't help but circle back to you. This isn't manipulation, this isn't trickery, this is emotional precision. It's the quiet art of connection, of making her feel deeply seen, even in a world where everyone's just looking. It's what separates boys from men, pickup lines from power, and temporary attention from permanent intrigue. Today, I'm going to reveal that the quiet art of connection question, but more than that, I'm going to show you why it works, the psychology behind it, the way it bypasses her defenses, the reason it creates attraction that lingers far beyond theme of. So if you're tired of being forgettable, if you want to become the man she thinks about when she's lying in bed at night wondering why you feel different, stay with me, because the most unforgettable thing you'll ever say to a woman won't be a compliment. It won't be a joke, it won't be a story, it'll be a question, and once you learn how to ask it the right way, you won't just capture her attention, you'll haunt it. Let's begin. Most men never realize this, but a woman's mind is her most powerful erogenous zone. You can dress well, speak a hidden world with confidence, even have that rugged jolly in a square frame. But if you can't pierce her thoughts, you'll never leave a lasting impact. Because the attraction isn't just about how you look, it's about how you make her feel above herself when she's around you. And more importantly, how she keeps feeling about you long after you're gone. See, every woman, no matter how confident or beautiful, carries a hidden world inside of her, a world built on unspoken dreams and word questions, emotional wounds, and untold desires. She may laugh, she may flirt, she may even seem open, but most of what's real about her stays locked up, not because she's hiding, but because most men never ask the kind of question that opens the door. They stay on the surface. They talk about work, the weather, hobbies, her weekend plans, save the moment. It ends by ordinary, the kind of conversation that's forgotten the moment it ends, but moment you say something that touches her identity, the moment you ask something that stirs her soul, even. Just like life, it's when you stop being just another guy, you become a disruption in her routine, a mystery in a world full of obvious, a mental echo. She can't silence you. See, women aren't just waiting for chemistry, they're waiting to feel something rare. A moment of being centrally seen, without filters, without pretense, without performance, and the man well creates that moment. Doesn't need to brag. He doesn't need to chase, he doesn't need to impress, because once you trigger, how do you get there? Her inner world her outer world start chasing you. So the real question is, how do you get there? How do you cross that invisible line between just a nice guy and someone she thinks about at 2 a.m.? Mateys not with rehearsed lines, not with artificial confidence, and definitely not be pretending to be someone you're noticed by asking a question so strikingly human, so quietly profound that it short circuits her defenses and drops her into something she wasn't expecting honesty when she answers it. Even just partially, she forms a connection with you. She can't fully explain because it didn't come from logic. It didn't come from lust. It came from somewhere. Deeper, you became the man who made her. Feel it's that question, understand that feeling, it doesn't fade. So what is that question? What's the phrase that opens her heart and lingers in her mind? Get ready, because once you learn it, you'll never look at conversations the same way again, and neither will she. Let's reveal it. In a world where attention spans air shrinking and conversations have become painfully shallow, where men ask, what's your step? Before they ask, what moves your soul? Standing out has become rare, meaningful connection almost extinct. Most men don't understand this, but every time a woman talks to a man, she's subconsciously filtering, is this man emotionally safe or just another performance artist in disguise? She's emotional intelligence hurt. It all the flattery, fake compliments about her smile, the up texts wrapped in fake charm, and on the surface she might laugh, she might entertain, she might even go along with the conversation, but deep down she's starving for substance. Now here's the truth most guys miss, and it's why this single question is so devastatingly effective. It signals emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence to a woman is pure gold. Why? Because it tells her you're not just listening to respond, you're listening to understand. It shows her you're not just interested in how she looks, but in how she feels, how she thinks, and what shaped her into who she is. You see, the moment you ask a dormant part of her question, like, what's one moment in your life when you felt truly alive, like everything just clicked and nothing else mattered? You're doing something 99% of men never do. You're giving her permission to reflect, to pause, to remember who she was before she was told to be less emotional, smile more, or stop overthinking. Tath question activates a part of her that's been dormant. She starts searching her memories. She's no longer in small talk mode. She's diving into her soul. She starts recalling a version of herself that maybe even she forgot, a version that danced in the rain, felt wonder in little things, laughed until her stomach hurt, or cried on the edge of a brick throw. And guess what? What sets you apart associates that emotional rediscovery with you, not because you gave Heron's words, not because you flexed, but because you asked a question no one else had the depth or courage to ask. That's what sets you apart, because most men talk to women trying to get something. You're the rare one who gives her a space to be something. That's why this works. It speaks directly to a woman's core needs, something even she may not fully understand or articulate, to be seen without judgment, to be heard without interruption, to be felt without needing to explain herself. That when a question says, I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to understand you. And that's magnetic, because women aren't drawn to the loudest man in the room. Why? This question is magnetic. They're drawn to the man who makes them feel most connected to themselves. This question bypasses all her filters. It doesn't just stimulate her thoughts, it awakens her feelings. In a world full of empty conversations, feeling something real is revolutionary. She'll leave that conversation not thinking about your clothes, your car, or your status, but about how you made her feel something deep, how you made her remember herself. That's why she'll think about you all night, because while Ferris made her feel pretty, you made her feel human, and in doing that, you've already created a bond stronger than attraction. You've created emotional gravity. Let's stop pretending that attraction is all about how you look, how much money you flash, or how charming your words are. That surface level attraction is all about how you look. That's easy. That's what every other guy is doing. And guess what? She's bored, not because she's hard to impress, but because she's evolved. She craves something deeper. And if you want toasting out in a woman's mind to embody her, thoughts to echo in her emotions long after the conversation ends, then you must do what 99.9% of men never dare to do, ask a question that pierces her emotional armor. Not one that makes her flinch, but one that makes her feel. Now here's the question, the one that keeps her thinking about you when she's lying in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering why she can't that conversation out of her head. What's one memory that shaped you? This isn't small talk. That no one else knows about, but you'll think about more than you'd ever admit. Let that sink in. This isn't small talk. This isn't. What's your favorite movie? If this is not the predictable dating up nonsense, this is a soul excavation. And when you say this, don't say it like a script. You don't rush it. You don't ask it mid-scroll, mid-drink, mid-distraction. You pause, look at her, not with intensity, but with stillness. You let the silence breathe around the question. You let her feel that you're in it playing games. You're inviting her into emotional intimacy, not seduction, but connection. And here's what happens. She freezes, not in fear, but in realization. One's ever asked her that not her ex, she freezes, not the guy chasing her in her DMs, not even her friends. You just bypassed years of walls with one question, because that question does three things instantly. It gives her permission to be vulnerable. Missed. Women are dying to open up, but have been judged, dismissed, or misunderstood so often that they stop trying. This question signals safety, emotional space to be real without performance. It tells her you're not here for her magar, here for her truth. That's rare, thoughts sacred. She feel it in her chest, not just her mind. It binds the moment to you, whatever she shares, even if it's quiet, even if she hesitates, will no be forever tied to your presence. You become the trigger for emotional authenticity. And this is key. Women don't just fall for your face or your words. They fall for how they feel around you. They fall for the inner world you unlock in them. You're not impressing her, you're awakening her. You become the man who asked the question that made her pause her whole life just to answer. You become the man who cared enough to go beyond the smile, beyond the flirtation, beyond the facade. You don't touch her body. You touch her memory, her emotion, her story, and when you can doff it, she'll think about you at 3:14 a.m. She will think about what else she could tell you. She will wonder, how did he know to ask that? Because deep down the stoic way, every woman wants to be known without the thing to explain herself. That's what this question is. It unlocks something far more powerful than attraction. It creates emotional imprinting. And when you deliver that question the stoic way, calm, grounded with no need to impress, only to understand, you're not just a man in her life. You're the moment she never saw coming and can't definitely use it the stoic way. Now that you know the question, the one that slices through surface level attraction and creates real psychological gravity, it's time to learn how to deliver it. And you mean the right way, because here's the truth. Even the most powerful words will fall flat if they come from a place of here's the truth insecurity, or from a man who's trying to force a connection that's not strength, that's needy. So how do you use this question the stoic way? You don't just say the words. You become the frame that gives those words meaning. Let's break it down step by step, like a master craftsman shaping a blade, slowly, deliberately, and without wasted motion. Only your presence must be still, not seeking before you say a word. Your energy already speaks. A stoic man doesn't rush to feel silence. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't chase reactions. He's grounded like a mountain in a storm. So before you even ask this question, ground yourself. Breathe deep, lock into the moment. Let her feel that you're not use silence like a weapon trained to get anything from her. You're in it here for validation. You're here for truth. When she feels that, her walls will begin to dissolve, not because of your charm, but because of your certainty to use silence like a weapon. After Yawisk, don't explain it. Don't laugh nervously. Don't try to make her comfortable by filling in the blanks. Just ask, what's one memory that shaped you that no one else knows about, but you'll think about more than you'd ever admit? Then shut up. Let the silence work in your favor. Let her thoughts race Let her heart catch up to the question you see women are used to men rushing in to control. The moment to lead the conversation, but a man who can hold silence with confidence, that's power hold silence. With confidence, she'll feel that you're not just waiting for a reply. You're honoring her space to go inward, and that creates something primal trust 3. Receive her answer with stillness and curiosity. If she opens up even a little, don't interrupt it. With ego, don't say, "Oh, wow, that reminds me of this thing I went through." No, that moment is not about you. Let it be about her rest for words, like she just handed you a piece of her soul. Hold it gently with reverence, like something rare, because it is. Nod slowly, make eye contact. Let her speak in full, even if it takes time. This is where she feels seen, not for her looks, not for her performance, but for who she is beneath. Surface that is unforgettable. Didn't chase the outcome for, don't chase the outcome. Stay attached yet deeply present. You are not trained to make her fall for you in that minute. You're simply offering depth in a world that's gone shallow, and whether she dives in or not, you remain unshaken. This is the thought tiller you care. But you don't cling, you open space, but you don't push, you invite, but you don't chase. And because of that, she feels something rare around you, a man who doesn't perform, a man who doesn't treat, a man who simply is, and that you don't have to repeat yourself in. Of presence stays with her long after the words are gone. You don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to follow up. She follow the feeling, because here's the hidden truth women remember. How you made them feel when they shared something sacred. That memory will attach itself to you. You just become a mental and emotional imprintal through one question used with stillness, masculine presence, incomplete emotional detachment from outcome. You've already learned the question that leaves. An imprint, there's what most men don't realize. Attraction gets her attention, connection makes her stay, and if you want to spark a connection so deep it lingers in her heart, long after you're gone, you need a variation that goes beneath desire that into the part of her that's rarely seen, even by her closest friends. This bonus question isn't about impressing her. This is about opening a door to the part of her that starved to be understood. So here it is, the hour. Bonus stoic variation 1. Did you feel most alive, but no only around? You seem to notice that that's it. This question isn't cute. It isn't light. It slices through the fluff end. Makes her pause hard. Why? Because it speaks to something hidden inside every woman, especially high-value, intelligent women, who've learned to smile throughout their own invisibility. Moment where she was radiant, wild, and fire inside, but no one truly saw her, not her parents, not her ex, not her friends, just her carrying a moment that meant the world while the world looked the magic moment away. You become the first person to ask the first man to see her past, the performance, and when she answers, if she does treat her words like scripture, look at her like you just watched her walk through fire and come out glowing, not with pity, not with sympathy, but with respect, because here's the magic themament. She feels seen in her invisibility. You become unforgettable. You didn't ask her about her favorite heckler. You didn't compliment her appearance. You asked her to step into her own story, and when she did, you stood still like a mountain and listened. That's masculine depth. That's what a stoic man offers. Not noise, not validation, but sacred space. Use this sacred space of variation with intention. Don't waste it and throw it out in a casual setting where it won't be honored. Instead, let moment arrive naturally. Maybe it's late at night. Maybe you're walking under city lights or sitting with a drink between you. You'll feel when the door ice open, and when you do, ask it without fear. Hold space without flinching, because if she's the right woman, this one question will ignite a kind of emotional intimacy she's never felt before, and in that stillness, you'll become the man she can't forget. So now you have it. Want a question so deceptively simple, yet powerful enough to echo in her mind long after the conversation ends. What's something you felt deeply, but no one else noticed? A gateway to her inner world, a mirror held up to her soul, not to fix her, not to flatter her, But to see her as she truly is, you see most men just attention. High-value men command emotion, and the rarest kind, the stoic knows this truth. When you stop trying to be impressive and start being present you, become unforgettables. Women aren't starving for perfection, they're starving for a presence there. Exhausted by shallow games, tired of being admired from a distance, but never truly understood. And the moment you give her space to reveal the parts of her that the world taught her to hide you, separate yourself from every other man she's ever met. She won't remember power what you wore, she won't replay your compliments, but she'll never forget how safe she felt when she was around you. She'll crave it in the silence. She'll search for it in others and come up empty because you weren't trying to win her. You were giving her something more: freedom to be real, to be seen, to be felt. That is power. If this message resonated with something deep in you, then understand this. It's not about the question. It's about the man who asks. Ida, a man of stillness, a man of strength, a man of inner mastery, not outer noise. If you want to continue evolving into fat man, if you want more tools, insights, and psychological strategies to help you lead, attract, and live with grounded, determinismal power, then this is just the beginning. Subscribe to Thought Tiller, write note, earn on notifications base. Every week I break down how to become the man women respect, desire, and never forget, not by pretending, but by remembering who you truly are. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and remember, the quietest men often speak the loudest without raising their voice. I'll see you in the next one.